Wow, where did you all come from? Goodness me, I never expected this many people. It's great, very warm welcome. Thank you very much for coming, first of all. I'm honored by your presence. This is my first time to Copenhagen. I did hear before I came that this particular city is a stress-free zone. But you know that one of the simplest definitions of love, actually, one of the simplest definitions is stress. Some of the definitions of stress is the absence of love in relationships. And I never thought there was that much absence. Because I guess why we're all here is curiosity. And curiosity means we're looking for something and searching. And I'm not sure if you're aware that just about everything you do is a search. Everywhere you go, every holiday, every book, every seminar, every guru visited is really an aspect of our search. And perhaps some of you are aware already that there's only one thing that we can ever find, and that is ourself. And only when we find ourself can we know love. And the simplest reason for that is too simple, actually, is that love is what we are. And so tonight, this particular focus, the four-letter word, sometimes in English it's spelt LURV, L-U-R-V. Tonight it's no surprise actually that there are so many people here. Every time I do this particular subject, it always attracts the biggest audience, always. And I think one of the reasons for that is we don't take enough time for ourselves to look within ourselves to find what we already have and what we already are. So we tend to come to talks and lectures and seminars and listen to the so-called experts on the subject. But really, I'm no expert. I just have a few years of, I guess, experience. I should really use the word inexperience because love isn't really experienced, it's inexperienced. It's the very energy of the human being. And when you feel love, then you are simply experiencing yourself. And the reason I'm here is about 25 years ago, I woke up one day and realized I was very stressed out. Very stressed out. Kind of crept up on me over many years. And certainly there was an absence of love, harmony in my relationships. Wasn't enjoying my job, wasn't enjoying my journey. So I decided to give it all up, and I went to look outside to see what I had to change. And very quickly began to realize that I was looking in the wrong direction. And what I hadn't done during my life was what fewer and fewer and fewer people I think do now, which is to push the pause button. You know that magic button you have on your DVD and your video and your TV, the pause button. And very few of us push the pause button in days that are almost perpetual motion. What's your average day like? Get out of bed, breakfast, go to work, paperwork, coffee, keyboard, bit of texting, coffee, paperwork, meetings, keyboard, a few more texts, home, dinner, TV, iron the shirt, take the dog for a walk, quick drink. Is that your average day? Most people. Perpetual motion. And so there's no time in the day now for more and more of us. We don't give ourselves time. And I guess that's because the most common mantra that passes across the screen of our minds, when someone just kind of suggests, maybe I should just relax for a minute, the mantra that passes as a thought is, sorry, I'm just too busy. Favorite word, too busy, haven't got time to stop, and relax. And I don't know if you know, but the Chinese have a word for busy. And in Chinese, the word for busy is made of two characters. One character means heart, and the other character means killer. And it's true, if you get a little bit too busy physically, then eventually your physical heart will be affected, for sure. Physical life out of balance. But the real heart is not our physical heart, it's our spiritual heart, the heart of our consciousness. And it's from there that love emerges in our lives. And when I get too busy, it's not physical busyness, it's busyness in my mind. When I think too much. And you all know when and where and with whom and about what you think too much. Worry, tension, anxiety, regret, guilt, fear. So many different forms of worry. And that's when I'm living in my mind. And when I live in my mind, it means I've left my heart. I've left my center. I've left the very energy of my life. And I'm living on the screen of my mind, dancing between all my thoughts. And that's why life becomes quite tiring. And I'm denying myself the energy of my heart, which is the energy of love, which is actually what I am. So what I thought might be quite nice to begin with, and always try to start this way, is just to take a few minutes to come back to the center, come back to the place within me that nourishes me, that empowers me, that gives me the energy of my life. And Sonia was asking before, do you come here for meditation or for love? And actually, the question is the same. The destination is the same. Meditation is the journey of 1 second of no distance back to the center of myself to reconnect with my heart, with the energy of love. That's all it is. Sometimes it's called the return journey. And so I thought it might be quite nice just to begin with a moment of quietness, of stillness, and a chance for you, in whatever way you're comfortable, just to come back to the center. Meditation is often something that people try, and they're not too successful to begin with, and that's usually because there's a kind of high expectation. If I sit and meditate, I should feel peaceful and I should feel warm and loving, but I can't. My mind is so busy, I can't relax. And there's so many distractions around me. Oh, I tried meditation, it didn't work for me, so I haven't tried it much since. And what usually we forget is that there's 2 steps before meditating, before really coming back to the center. 2 steps that we don't learn very well. One is relaxation, and the other is concentration. To relax all the energy of my body, and then to give my mind permission to relax. It won't relax because it's used to being very busy, but at least consciously giving it that permission. And then to concentrate. Not with tension, too much tension, too much resistance, and the tension stops me from relaxing, but finding this balance between relaxation and concentration. Sometimes it's called equipoise, to be poised in the center. Too much relaxation and unfortunately meditation is not sleep. Too much concentration and too much tension, and you won't be able to meditate. But these first 2 steps are important when I begin the process of meditation. And then I come back, and the essence of meditation really is just observation, just watching. And as you watch, not the world outside, but the world of your creation inside, your thoughts, whatever you're feeling, whatever memories pop up, whatever sensations do come in, as you watch, as you learn just to watch, you come back to the center where you are. And there is your peace, there is your power, and there is the pulse of your heart, which is the intention to love. So let me invite you to join me just for a couple of minutes. Nice way to start the evening, actually, to kind of let go of the day and any conversations and hassles and worries and stresses of the day. Just a chance to drop all that and come together in this room tonight. So just relax your body in the chair. Scan your body. You've probably seen these scanners on television. See if there's any tension hidden in your body anywhere. And if you find any, just let it go, release it, allow it to dissolve. And then focus your attention. Just first of all, watch your breath. Allow your attention to flow with your breathing. Inwards and outwards, just in your own natural rhythm. And if your attention drifts away, then just bring it back. Begin again. Gentle attention. And then bring your attention inwards, inside. And just be aware of any thoughts, whatever you're feeling, rising and falling, coming and going. Just watch, observe. And as you watch, notice there is a peace, a natural peace, arising within your being. Allow that peace to fill your consciousness. Still just watching, just being. And there's a stillness, a quiet, silent stillness. And then bring your awareness back to your body. To the room around you. To the here and now. you. I think in my own personal journey, my own inner research and outer exploration, I find that one of the most misused and abused words in our language is the word love. And we tend to use it very loosely in a whole variety of ways when we really mean something else. It's just that we're not aware that that's what we do. You know, the football supporter says, I love my football team. I love my football team. But of course, it's not really love, it's just obsession, really. It's just obsession. And love is not an obsession. What else? There's the moment in the movie when he says to her, darling, I love you. But what does he really mean? He really means Do you all speak English? You all do speak English, don't you? Occasionally I can do with a bit of help, you know. He really means, I want you. And of course, he really means he desires. And love, true love, doesn't desire. It wants nothing. It exists to do the opposite, to give, to be available, not to want. The addict says, I love my Coke, a cola. I love my Coke. And of course, real meaning is not love. They're really saying, I'm dependent. I have a dependency on my Coke. And love is never dependent, is not dependent. I love my nation. I love my flag. Oh, I love my town, my city, my flag, my people. I love. Sounding a bit Spanish now, aren't I? This is the Spanish, the Latin. And of course, that's not love. That's identification. I'm identifying with something that I am not. Nationality, flag, etc. And that's not love. That's identification. And love does not lose its sense of identity in anything other than itself. And so we kind of misuse. We've learned down through the ages now to misuse the word. And this is why we're a little confused. Just a little. Maybe this is why Hollywood makes so much money. Because we're always looking to find true love, the true meaning of love. And this is what we're all searching for, really. And why has this happened? Why are so many people here tonight? Why are so many books, so many gurus consulted? Why is this four-letter word been the object of so many romantic novels and movies? And it is because we are confused. We are confused. And the confusion usually begins when we're very young. Have you all seen Toy Story? You all know the movie Toy Story? You all know that movie. Yeah, the cartoon, you've all seen it? Yeah, Toy Story. Very funny, very, very well-made cartoon. But the real Toy Story is the true Toy Story. And the true Toy Story happens for every one of us when we're quite young. It doesn't really matter when exactly. And maybe you remember this moment. I don't know, maybe you don't. And this is the moment when we begin to become confused about the most important energy in life. And it's the moment when one of those big people bring you your first toy. Do you remember that moment? And they give you your first toy, and they leave it with you, and then they come back about 5 minutes later, and they look down at you, and they say, "Are you happy? Are you happy with your toy?" And we go, "Oh, yes, I am happy, very happy." Yeah, very, because they must want me to be happy, because that's what they want. And so, yes, I'm very happy with my toy. And the moment I say I'm happy with my toy, they become very happy with moi, with me. And in that moment, I learned two fatal lessons, two lessons that will live with me for the rest of my life. Number one, toys equals happiness. And number two, love in my life comes from outside, usually from big people, in the form of approval. And the more I tell them I'm happier with them, the more they will just love me. And so in that moment, I learned to believe that love in my life has to come from bigger outside people. Then a few moments later, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 hours, doesn't really matter, someone else comes in and they stamp on my toy and they break my toy. And in the moment they break my toy, I experience the first experience of suffering. I create sorrow. I start to cry. I'm in pain for the first time because someone's broken my toy. And in that moment, I learn another fatal lesson, is that other people can cause me pain. Yeah, fatal lesson. Very simply learned, but that's what I learned. And in that moment, for the first time, my heart is broken. It's not really, it's the toy that's broken, but because the toy represents my happiness, is a symbol of my happiness, and my heart's become very attached to it. I love my toy. As soon as someone breaks it, it's as if they break me. And my heart is broken for the first time. And it's downhill all the way from there. And so 10 minutes, 2 hours, 2 days, doesn't really matter. This big person comes again into my life. And I immediately remember their image, my suffering, and the moment I see them, I deny them. I build a barrier between me and them. And I deny them the energy of my heart. And so I block the energy, the very energy of my life, in my relationship with that person. And so suddenly, my heart begins to become blocked for the first time as I deny the energy of love to that person. And I start to see other big people, and they look similar to this big person. I think they might be toy breakers. No, maybe they're not toy, but he might be a toy breaker. She might be a toy breaker. And suddenly, I start holding people at a distance. I begin to mistrust for the first time. And the moment you block your heart, you block the flow of energy, the very energy that's meant to flow into your life. It's like around that blockage, the energy begins to freeze. My heart begins to become frozen. Yeah, and it might just be with one person to begin with, but very quickly it easily spreads. And I don't realize it at the time, but at this age, if energy, the energy of love is not flowing into my relationships, then actually what's really happening is that I'm not nourishing myself. Because, I don't know if you're aware, the very reason we have relationship is so we can give the energy of love. And it's only in the process of giving that we nourish, empower ourselves. You know that, don't you? You get that? You know that gift you give at least once a year? At least once a year you give someone a gift? And you say, this is from me to you with love. Where was the love? In the department store that you bought the gift from? In the wrapping, in the box? No, it was within the self, the I. And who feels it first on the way out? I do. So the moment I deny this energy to any other person in my life, I'm really denying it to myself. And so my heart begins to wither. little bit like you take water from a plant, the plant will wither. It's like cactus or tree in the desert. If it's not watered, it will wither. So my heart starts to wither inside. So now my heart is broken, blocked, frozen, and withered. Sorry, I'm just getting started. And as I feel a little bit shriveled up inside, there's obviously life is not a happy journey. I get them. There's moments of happiness which come and go, rise and fall. But really, it's not that happy a journey. And then I'm watching all these other big people around me, and they look a lot happier than me. In fact, they're always laughing and smiling, and they seem happy, and they're talking about love a lot. They come home and they say, I love my job, and I love my car, and I love my garden, I love holidays. And I went, wait a minute, they love these things and they seem to be happy, so I maybe should follow them and get what they've got. Maybe that will make me happy and I will know love again. So I follow in the footsteps of those big people, and I start going to acquire lots of things. Nice people, lots of friends, better job, nice car, nice dress, nice suit, nice house, and I start acquiring all these things under the illusion that if I get those things, I will be happy, that I will have the things that I love, and what I love will make me happy. But funnily enough, after a while, guess what? I'm not feeling full of love. Actually, the more I acquire from outside, the more empty I feel on the inside. Because I don't know that none of those acquisitions can actually satisfy, fulfill, fill the soul full. No one's taught me that. In fact, they've taught me the opposite. Go and get as much as you can, and then your life will be fulfilled. It will be filled full. But actually, I feel more empty. Is that true? Does that make sense? Yeah. Not only that, but now I've got all these things that I've acquired, and guess what? They all take a little bit of... What time is it? They all take time and attention. People need time. All my new gadgets need time. I need to play my DVDs. I've got the best DVD in the market. That needs a lot of time. And I've got my nice new BMW. I've got to do a bit of driving in the BMW. It's there. I've got to enjoy it. I've got a new house. I've got to spend time on the house. I have to spend time with the new dog that just arrived. And the dog's meant to make us happy and content, so I have to give it time. And so all of a sudden, my time is going everywhere. And I'm feeling very fragmented. And so I have to go on a time management seminar. Yes, it's true. And that's why that's the most popular seminar subject in the world today. Did you know that? It's the most highly attended topic in the world today. Time management. Time management. And do you know why people go on time management seminars? Do you know why? Because it's very simple, really. They're not enjoying their life. You ever noticed? When there is joy in your life, true joy in your life, love, joy, the loveful expression, the energy of joy is love. It's the life of love. The one thing you never look at is you lose all awareness of time when there is joy in your life. So why is there no joy? Because I'm under the illusion that all those lovely things, acquisitions, accumulations, they're designed to bring me my joy. And when they don't, then I feel fragmented inside. So now my heart is broken, blocked, frozen, withered, empty, and fragmented. Pretty good, eh? Does this sound familiar to you? I think so. I think so. But then the flame of hope is still alive. The flame of hope, the hope that I might find love, is still alive. And it's maintained, sustained by the mythology of romantic love. You know the myth of romantic love, don't you? You all know that myth. Yeah? The myth that there's one special person for me somewhere out there. And they're just waiting to meet me. And any minute now, they're going to come riding into the room on a great big white horse. And they're going to rescue me from my misery. They're going to sweep me off my feet, and I'm going to have eternal love. This is romance, isn't it? Isn't this the romantic myth? Isn't this what keeps Hollywood alive? Yes, I think so. And so I go looking, I go searching for the special one just for me. So it's off to the party, and it's up Periscope. Oh, yes, maybe. No, I don't think so. Oh, yes, definitely. Hello. And I start searching for that special one. And sure enough, I meet the occasional possibility. And we talk. Hello, how are you? Yes, nice, very nice. And I open the gates of my heart. Maybe once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. I open the rusty gates of my heart. And I let someone in. And I step out into the light of the possibility of love. But it's not long until I realize that they too are just as needy as me. Yeah? And guess what? 2 needy people don't make perfect partnership. And so maybe, don't know about you, everyone's experience is different. Maybe a little disillusion sets in. Well, maybe there isn't anyone for me. Maybe I just have to be on my own. Okay. And then one day, it happens. Out of the blue. Just on the other side of the hall, our eyes meet. Purely by chance. And there is electricity. Wow. I can't stop looking around. They can't stop looking around. And we approach each other very, very nervously. Hello. 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 Come here often? Are you coming again? Are you? Oh, I am too. Okay. Yeah. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Fantastic. Yeah. Oh, yes. They're the one. I'm sure they're the one. And for the next day, I can't eat. I can't sleep. I can't think about anything else or anyone else. They totally absorb my mind. And I'm thinking, yes, it's true. And it's happened. You can fall in love. Thank you. And sure enough, we meet next day, and it's beautiful. It is the most beautiful experience I've ever had in a relationship with one other. Perfect. Oh, we cannot say or do anything that remotely upsets or bothers the other. Everything seems to be we have in common. It's as if even when we're not with each other, we can feel each other's presence. We can read each other's minds. Our hearts are meeting. Our minds are meeting. Yes, fantastic. This is the one. And then? You know what I'm going to say, don't you? There is that moment. There is that moment. The moment that seems inevitable. Maybe not. I'm no authority, really. But it seems inevitable, the moment in the relationship when what is born? The first is born. The seed of the downfall of every relationship. There is a moment, usually just at the end of the honeymoon period. There is that moment when what is born? The first expectation. You said you were going to buy the bread. You said you'd be there at 3:30. The first expectation is born. And the moment that expectation of the other is born, that's the moment the connection of love is broken. Why? Because love doesn't expect. Love expects nothing. And so what happened there? What just happened? I wanted to steal the heart of another, and I wanted the other to steal my heart. Yeah. So now my heart is broken, blocked, withered, frozen, fragmented, empty, and stolen. Now, why does all of this happen? Why? And for almost all of us, in some way or other, this is all our stories. In some way or other, it's different the way the story happens in the reality of our life. Why? Poison. All our hearts are poisoned at a certain time. Not physical poison, but it's called the poison of belief. The poison of mythology, basically. The myths are really beliefs that we absorb from the culture, the world around us, from those big people who absorbed it from them, and handed down through generations. The mythology, the myths of love, poison our heart and take us away from the true experience of true love. And the first myth, basically, the first poisonous belief we absorb is that love comes from outside of ourselves. That we have to get something, acquire someone, be in the possession or the presence of something outside of ourselves before we can know and find love. But then somehow we still, at least once a year, we get the truth. And belief is not the truth. The truth is quite different from a belief. The truth happens when you do give that gift and you give it unconditionally without wanting anything in return, and you feel fantastic. And in that moment, you know that's a much deeper, more precious, more powerful, more empowering experience than ever getting something from someone. And that's the proof, the evidence that love is not something you acquire. It can only be known when you give. When you give. The second myth, belief, poison that seeps into our heart is that love is exclusive. That I can only really know love in relationship with one or maybe two or maybe a small group of people, but usually just one. This is the mythology, again, around romance. That only one person is only going to be able to co-create love in my life. And of course, I guess you know, and intuitively, that love is not exclusive. True love is inclusive. True love doesn't select, doesn't discriminate. The energy of love is given freely, equally to all. It's a little bit like the sunshine. The sunshine doesn't shine down in the garden and say, I'm going to shine on those flowers today, but I'm not shining on you guys. It doesn't discriminate. It shines on all flowers. It gives its light to everything in the garden. And the light of love is the same. Mythology number 3. You're looking very serious, actually. It's not that serious, really. Myth number 3, poisonous belief number 3 that seeps into our heart is that you can fall in love. I can see little bubbles above heads now, and I can read the writing. Yes, you can. And I did. Or some people are saying, I am. But in truth, for me personally, and I can only share what I discover in my own journey, you don't fall in love. Love doesn't make you fall. Love is the most uplifting energy you could ever experience. Love doesn't make you fall. So what's going on when we feel we have fallen in love? What's actually happening in our consciousness? What is it that's deluding us? And if you're aware when you do fall in love with a person, some people, it's not people, they fall in love with their garden or their house or their new car. I'm just falling in love with that car. It's lovely. It's lovely. I'm in love with my car. Yeah? And you know this. It just takes one person to wait a minute, to walk up and take a coin down the paintwork of your car. And how do you feel? Someone just scratches your car, and how do you feel? You don't feel very loving, do you? You feel very angry. Is that true? So suddenly, love has completely disappeared. It's gone. And you're feeling very angry. Now, who creates the anger? The person who scratches the car? No, it's me. I'm the creator of that emotion. Yeah, so let's do it very logically. You scratch my car and I feel pain. That means I think I am a car. Good morning, doctor. I'm a car today. Yeah, in that moment. And where is that happening? Where is that happening? That's happening entirely in my own consciousness, on the screen of my mind. That's where I fall. In other words, I fall into the image of the car, which is on the screen of my mind. And that's what happens when we fall. I fall. I lose my sense of self in an image of someone or something. And in that moment, I lose my identity in something that I'm not. It's just we're not aware of it. We're not aware we make this mistake. And then when something happens to what we've fallen into, or they don't do what I see them doing on the screen of my mind, I get very angry. Yeah, I get frustrated, I get angry, and that is not love. And so actually, I don't fall. You can't fall in love. You can lose your sense of self in something or someone, but that's not love. It's the opposite of love. So, belief number 3, mythology number 3. I don't know if you've ever seen the couple in the restaurant? Maybe this has been you at some stage. The couple, nice young couple, looking into each other's eyes, having a lovely dinner, lots of harmony. Yes, yes. Lovely day. I love you too. You know? And then as the evening wears on, the tone of the conversation just shifts a little bit. Yeah, and there's a little bit of a disagreement. Starts as a little disagreement, and then of course the disagreement escalates a little bit, and suddenly it becomes a little argument. But you said, and I said, and you said, but I said, and you said, but I'm sure I said this, and you said that. And then the argument just escalates a little bit more. And now the energy is getting a little bit louder, and there's a little fight beginning to happen. And then everybody else in the restaurant, they're looking over at this couple, and they're going, oh, look, they're having a fight. They must be in love. You ever heard that saying? Yeah, they're having a fight. They must love each other. And this is the illusion that love hurts. The mythology that love is going to hurt you. In actual fact, is that true? Does love hurt? Can love hurt? No. Love never hurts. Love heals. It is the healing energy of the universe, the pure energy of love. And that's why every one of us, and I'm sure many of you are aware of this, in theory at least, maybe some of you have actually practiced this. You've healed yourself using the very energy of your own consciousness, which is love. Many, many people do this now, is they heal their own physical body with the energy of love. What we don't tend to spend the time doing, though, is healing the wounds of the illusions that we've absorbed in our consciousness, sometimes known as spiritual and mental healing, because it's these beliefs that are in the heart of our consciousness that are wounding us at that level. And only the truth of love can chase away the beliefs of illusion. Do you see it? And that's why meditation becomes slightly important. So, poisonous belief, myth number 5. And any mothers here? Any mothers? Do we have any mothers? Yeah. Hands up, mums. Yeah, mums are brilliant at this. Any mums with teenagers here? Teenagers, yeah, fantastic. You'll know this very well, very well. Teenagers, 10 minutes late? 10 minutes late? You never called. You said you'd call. You know I've been worrying all night. Why didn't you call me? I know I've been worrying. And the teenager goes, but why are you worrying, Mum? Stop your worrying. You're always worrying. And Mum says, but you know I worry because I care. I care about you. And in that moment, the parent teaches the child 2 fatal lessons. Number 1, worry equals care. No, it doesn't. Worry is fear, and care is love. And they are the opposites. You cannot give love, be loving, if you are fearful. And the second lesson that the child learns, first lesson, fear is love. There couldn't be any more fatal than that. And the second lesson is, it's good to worry. Yeah, it's good to worry. So I spend the rest of my life worrying. And then when I have nothing to worry about, I get worried. That's what we do, isn't it? I'm sure something's going to go wrong any minute now. Well, it's how it's going to go. And this is worry. You know what worry is? Worry is fantasized catastrophizing. I create a fantasy of a catastrophe in my mind. And then I use the image that I create to frighten the living daylights out of myself. Yeah, that's what I do. And when you see it, you see, and yes, you do laugh, because it's crazy. It's just a story I'm creating. I've got Hollywood in my head. Yeah. I'm the writer, producer, director, and the main actor in this little story. And it's complete fiction. So what should the mother do when the teenager's 10 minutes late? Give love. You know we're all connected, don't you? Have you ever picked up the phone and somebody, I was just going to call you. There they were. Have you ever said something? I was just going to say exactly the same thing. I was just feeling that. I was feeling like that too. And in those moments, we demonstrate we are all connected. So if you have a child out in the middle of the night, what do they need the most from you? Do they need the vibration of fear? Is that going to empower them, help them make a tricky decision if they are in a tricky situation? Don't know if they are, but they might be. So do they need the energy of fear or the energy of love? So do I have the strength to send them that energy? Or to sit and worry, what is this now? What's that? What is it? What's that? And of course, we get great material for the creation of our worry stories. Where? Great material. Watching TV, reading the great raw material. So What does my child need? They need the energy of love. And then number 6, belief number 6, mythology number 6, is, I don't know if you've ever done this, department store, maybe HMV, you're kind of wandering through and there's the CD. Oh, the CD, look, 50 of the best love songs of all time. Special offer. Half price. Yes, thank you. And so I get the CD, 50 top love songs of all time. I take it home. And I put the chocolates here. I put the candles here. And I light the candle. I put the CD on. And I put the hankies here, the paper tissues here. And then after first 3 minutes, I'm going on. And this is love, isn't it? Isn't this love? Yeah. Isn't it love? No. It's sadness. Wow. Couldn't be more opposite, could it? And we believe that sadness is love. You know that, don't you? You go when you watch the romantic love story in the movie. You're sitting there with your partner, and 1 minute they're, oh, he shouldn't have said that. Oh, they're fighting again. Oh, they're making up now. Oh, they're fighting. Oh, they should be fighting. And then off at the end of the film, off into the sunset. Oh, isn't that lovely? Isn't that beautiful? Darling, why can't our relationship be like that? Isn't that right? And that moment, we cry, and we believe it's love. Do you see it? Yeah? This is called emotional confusion. Yeah. It's emotional confusion. Yeah, and we're confusing love with an emotion. And love is not an emotion. Love doesn't get emotional. Did you know that? Probably not. Because no one teaches us. Love doesn't become emotional. Love is strong. Love is not hot. Love is cool. Love is never weak. It's stable. It's stable energy. When you love, you don't lose control over your energy. When you're emotional, the emotion's controlling you. Do you see? Love is not an emotion. Love is the very core energy of your being. And then number 7, the belief, myth, number 7, is the most common, and it kind of lies a little bit behind all the others. And it's the one that our culture is reinforcing all the time. And it's quite challenging to break free of this. It is, ultimately. And this is the idea that love is attachment. Is that when you attach to something, to someone, you are demonstrating your love for them, for it. When you possess, hold on, you demonstrate your love. No. No. Have you ever had someone want to possess you? Want to get very attached to you? Very clingy? Have you ever had that? What's the first thing you want to do? I think so. And that's why it's not love. It's against the nature of love to attach to anything, any object, anything of any limitation. It's against the very nature of love to do that. In fact, the paradox in the language we are taught to speak is that you cannot give love unless you are detached. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Sounds weird. And it's just our conditioning that makes it sound weird. And if you look at your experience in life, you'll note that anything you get attached to, anything you hold on to, and really attachment's not an external physical thing, it's a mental thing. Anything you attach to, you automatically generate fear. Fear of loss, damage. Yeah, fear of loss or damage. And when fear is created, love is lost. Temporarily, but love is lost. Do you see it? And that's why I have to detach from the person, from the object, from whatever, in order to give my best energy, to give my best, to give love. Because when I'm attaching to something, I'm not able to give. I am doing the opposite. I'm taking. And that's why when you are always wanting something, actually wanting anything stops your ability to receive. Have you noticed that? Yeah. Because when you want something, you want it here. And you already have what you want on the screen of your mind. I'd like that new house. Yeah, I want the new house. Yeah, we want that new house. Yeah, and all I can think about is the new house. In fact, we haven't got it. We haven't got it yet out there, but I've got it here. I'm already living in my new house. I've already got it. Oh, it's fantastic. And I'm living and I'm thinking about a new house. And I love and it's great, my new house. And guess what? The universe is trying to get in around here. People are trying to come with ideas, opportunities, situations. But can I see them? No, because I'm so attached, fixated on the object of my desire. It's here. And it's stopping me from receiving the energy of life around me. And that's why only when I let go do I become open. And only when I'm open can I receive what comes and can I give in return. Do you see it? It's quite subtle inside and not something anyone really teaches us. And then finally, when you want something, you already have it in here. You've already got it. I'm already driving my new car. And then when it doesn't show up in reality, I get very... Actually, what's the first emotion? I get a little sad. Oh, I haven't got what I wanted. But the sadness passes, like all emotion. All emotion passes. Emotion cannot stay because it's not real. But before the sadness passes, it turns into anger. As I look for someone to blame. Someone's responsible for me not getting what I want. So the sadness turns into anger. Now anger can't last either. It cannot last. Anger also has to pass. But before it passes, it turns into fear that it might happen again. And if you fear anything is going to happen, guess what? It will happen. And then I get, oh my God. And then I get, oh my God. And I get, oh yeah. And this is called the cycle of emotion. This is the cycle of emotion. And for me personally, this is the cycle that most of us will live most of our lives. Sadness, anger, fear, sadness, anger, fear. Until we realize that it's nothing out there that's creating those emotions. It's entirely myself. It's what I do in here, in my consciousness, until I raise my awareness. And only then can I break the cycle. I break out of the cycle and I can return to the heart, my energy, the energy of my heart. And in that moment, I don't want anything. I don't desire anything, anyone. And paradoxically, in that consciousness, guess what happens? The universe rushes towards you. It rushes towards you from all angles. But please don't believe me. In fact, you mustn't believe a word I say. It's true. We have enough beliefs. Look at all those beliefs that we've been handed down. And look at the effect of those beliefs. And that's why this is the time now to go beyond the belief of others and really explore for myself. And that's all I've been doing for 25 years. Just exploring for myself, in myself. Don't need to go out really. It's all within us. Most of all, the power of that energy. So finally, and then I'll shut up. What is love? Very simple. Love is the giving of myself in many forms, sharing, accepting, guiding, teaching, in many unlimited number of forms I give of myself, but with one caveat, without wanting anything in return. Yeah. Without wanting anything in return. Simple, very simple. The moment I want something back, it's not love, it's business. And that's why, and that's why business is so predominant, not just in the business world, but in the world of relationships. We tend to turn our relationships into a business. I'm only going to love you, but only if you. Why haven't you given me time? I've given you so much time and energy, you haven't given. And so it's like I want something back. And this is what tires us. This is what really tires us, is when I want something back and I don't get what I want. That's where the thoughts come. I'm not getting what I want. They're not giving me. They should, they shouldn't. They should, they shouldn't. Why are they not? Why are they not? And this is the tiring part. And we think it's them that's tiring us by taking all our energy. But it's not. It's because they're not giving me what I want. If you want nothing and you give of yourself, it is energizing. It is the highest form of self-empowerment. Yeah. Do you see it? You're still looking at me very strangely. So what do you think? Clear? Or should I go back to my planet just out there? This guy's from another planet. Yeah. It's good. Let me finish there. Any questions? Anything not clear? Anything not working for you? Anything you'd like to challenge or explore?
Vi har nogle mikrofoner her, hvis nogen vil stille spørgsmål.
Or shout it out. It's
or
okay.
shout it out.
Yeah. Yes, right at the back here. Don't get carried away, please. No. Appreciate your butt. No. Anything not clear? Anyone at all? Yes, please, just shout. Not getting what you want, yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah, I understand. Yeah, most people believe that they should feel it, it's okay to need to feel it, and it's okay to get it. That is the predominant experience, belief system of most of us. No, I can't actually. It's gone. How do I work in a relationship where I feel I need to get something and I want to get something from the other? Is that right? Yeah. I think it's for me to do with this idea of fulfillment. You know, the illusion behind wanting is that when you get what you want, you will feel fulfilled, full. Now I'm okay. Now I got what I wanted. Yeah, and you do get things. Objects, people give you sometimes what you want. And there is a moment when you feel satisfied. But unfortunately, it passes very, very fast too. And then you're wanting more. You want it again. And now I'm on the trail of addiction. I become addicted then. And so it's not a paradox, but for me the truth is, to feel fulfilled, I have to empty myself. Fulfilling and emptying. In the physical world, you fill a glass by putting a lot of water in it, and then it spills over once it's got enough water. But in the spiritual, which is the universe of the self, because that's what we are, spiritual beings. We're not physical beings, we're conscious spiritual beings. It's the opposite. To fill yourself, give, and give. With discernment, but to give of yourself. And paradoxically, that fills you up from inside. Because you have to break the blockages. Because I don't want to give. I don't want to give that time. Which means there's a blockage within me to let the energy flow into my relationships. So let it flow into that particular relationship. And just watch every time the thought, I want something, give me something, I need something. Just watch that thought coming up. And then that's why meditation becomes, there's that needy thought again. There's that dependent thought again. There's that gimme thought again. And notice the subtle feeling of discomfort that comes with it. What if he doesn't give me what I want? And there's the worry coming, and so I get lost. And so just in the meditation, the more you see that, the more you see the illusion of it, the illusoriness that this will satisfy you. It just takes a little time. And meditation really is just the cultivation of self-awareness. You're just becoming aware that you're the creator of those thoughts. And any discomfort, you're the creator of any discomfort. It's not him, it's not her, it's me. And wow, it's me. Wow, this is great news. This is great. Then I can do something about it. And what do? Instead of want, give. Find an excuse to give, to give, to give. See, and then I reverse the flow. It's good. Anyone else? Yeah.
Isn't it so? Is it open?
Yes.
Okay.
You're open.
That this process of ignorance, learning to walk, learning to acknowledge love, that when my heart closes, it has to break open. So there's a paradox in this: pain is gain and gain is pain. So whatever happened, there's no power greater than love. So it's going in the right direction if I'm open.
If you're open, yeah.
And looking.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It takes time because of my story, my culture. And because there's no power greater than love, I might learn it. I mean, I have an unconscious drive for self-development. I can't even stop it. So there's a paradox that, and this is my learning process, and a lot of people have spoken to that, my heart actually has to break open. So this sadness transforming my heart. And this is the good about it. Is it so?
Depends really. The sadness won't transform the heart. It's not so much a question, for me personally, of learning. You know, the learning for us tends to be another word for accumulation. The accumulation of more understanding, knowledge, like I've been explaining tonight, and you could take away a new accumulation of ideas, but it won't make any difference really. The place you're pointing, and I think it's the right place, is not reached by a process of learning. It's a process of realization. Yeah, and it's the moment the penny drops. It's what I call the aha moment. And you have a completely new awareness in a moment of something that's been with you for a lifetime. You know, and one of those might be is that I'm the creator of the sadness. It's my creation. This is crazy. What am I doing? And in that moment, you begin to drop it. And you don't learn to do that. It's like there's a moment of insight. And it might happen in the company of a certain person. It might happen an evening like this. It might happen on a walk in the mountain or whatever. You just kind of don't know when the penny's going to drop. And many pennies have to drop. Yeah. But the process of this evening all contribute to it. But it's not about learning, accumulating more knowledge, if you like. Yeah. Is loving just the same as being present? This idea of present in the past 5 years has become very popular. And it's a beautiful concept. When fully understood, I don't want to put a barrier up in front of it, but it's one of the hardest things to do. And again, it's why a process of meditation is essential. When you're present, it means you're not absent, basically. And when you look and be aware of your consciousness through almost every moment of the day, you'll notice you're absent. Almost 99.9% of the time, I'm absent. Where? In the past or in the future, on the vehicle of my thoughts, my thinking. I have the habit, a very deep habit in my consciousness, to create a nice magic carpet of thought, and then I often go into the future, speculation, imagination, assumption, presumption. Or else I go for little journeys into the, they shouldn't have said this, they said that. Why didn't I get this? Why didn't I get that? And I'm off into the past. And one of the most challenging things is to be fully present, to be absolutely fully present, without any temptation to go any way. And yes, you're right, in the moment of total presence, then there is nothing but the awareness of your connection to everything. And love is that connection. It's already there. But I can't feel it, I can't see it, because I'm absent most of the time. Yeah.
Hello?
Anyone else?
Yeah. Where do you put the commitment in this equation? In relationships?
It's a little bit like, where do you put relationship? In other words, where am I right now? Where am I right now for you? Where am I right now? Actually, where am I right now? Where am I? Where? Where am I? Where am I?
You're the only one who can answer because we don't know if you're present or you're somewhere else.
Okay, let me rephrase it slightly. Where am I for you right now? Where? Where's here? In your head. Is that where I am? I'm here, but I'm also there and there and there and there and there. Now, who puts me in your mind? Who puts me in your mind? Do I do that? No. You do that. So what are you doing with me in your mind? Actually, what are you doing with me? And I see some people over here, they're going, God, this guy's fantastic. Some people over here go, get this guy out of here, I can't stand him. Now, who's doing that? I'm not doing that. You are doing that. So, are you ready? This is a long, slightly long answer to your question, but we'll get there. As you perceive me, so you create me. This is why you create your world, the world, at every single moment. That's why, when you're waking up, feel really great. Doesn't matter how bad the day goes, you can handle it. You can create a good day out of it. But if you wake up feeling grumpy in your consciousness, doesn't matter how well the day goes, a bit of a grumpy day, isn't it? It's a bit of a meh day. Yeah. Because you bring the world in and you create the world according to your own image or your own state of consciousness at that time. Do you see that? If you can see that, you begin to see this amazing responsibility you have. So then, I create you in my own image, my own state of consciousness, And then that defines the energy I give to you. So how you perceive is how you create, and then that's what you project out into the world. And so the world is created outside. You see the process? So, actually, I can only ever make a commitment to one. Because in this sense, there only ever is one. Do you see? So if I make a commitment to you, it's really, I'm making a commitment to my creation of you. Sorry, I have to laugh. Because it's almost the opposite. It's the opposite that we're taught. Do you see it? And in fact, that's the true commitment. And if I get that clarity and make that commitment to myself, then everything else around me will fall into place. Yeah, will fall into place. But most of us, we get it the wrong way around. We think, oh, I've got to be so committed to my team, and I've got to be so committed to my partner, and so committed to my kids. And what are we doing? We're giving energy. Where is it coming from? It's coming from myself. And if I haven't made a commitment to be myself, I give the wrong energy. I give out the wrong energy. And then I wonder why it comes back. Do you see? So the first and only real commitment is to yourself. And when you are yourself, and you don't have to think about what will I give here, what will I give here very much, because you are a natural radiator of energy. You can't not give the energy of your life. You can't not be in relationship. Do you see? But because we've got the illusion I need relationship, I need to get things from my relationships, then I create people as objects to give me something. Yeah, and that's why relationship goes wrong, because I'm seeing you just as an object to make me happy, to make me okay, to make me satisfied. And then we call that, but I'm committed to them, I'm committed to you, because you're the one who's going to make me happy. Do you see? And then I forget totally about myself. And I don't even see that I'm creating you in that way. Wow. It's challenging, isn't it? Do you see that? Did you just to see it is the beginning. So it's the only real commitment. Get that right and everything else falls into place. Anyone else?
Isn't it very hard to keep on that road all day long? I get very tired now.
You know, if you maybe the car analogy is a good one, is that when the car needs to change direction, you know, that it's only in the part of the changing of the direction that takes all the wheel, a little bit more energy, up and down with the throttle, and a few screeches of the tires. And you can see that once the car has changed its direction, off it goes another direction, and it's back in. This is easy again. Do you see it? So that's where only you can do that for you, and only you make that commitment for you to do that work. I don't want to call it work, because work makes it sound like, oh God, this is like hard work. It sounds like work. But you will do it when you are kind of ready to say, well, look, this direction's not working, had enough. Got to turn around now. Got to look around. Got to look in. And then you'll do it when you're ready, really. Yeah.
Why do you think so many people? Why do you think so many people are unaware of this kind of love and this way of?
Why are so many people unaware?
Yeah.
Is there anyone from marketing in here tonight? It's okay. You don't have to put your hand up. The whole world is set up now to sustain the other direction, the one that we're obviously finding is not working, and I know this because I worked for 10 years in that whole universe of marketing, which really the very foundation of marketing, which is the heart of business, is you have to convince others that they have a need to get something from you. And that's just completely the opposite. Yeah. I have no need for anything from anyone, ultimately. Yeah. When I become very emotional, when I become very angry and peaceless and upset, I do have a need, but the need can only be satisfied, met by me. It means I've disconnected from my own strength, stability, and calm inside. Now, the people out there in marketing will say, well, look, we can get that strength and stability back for you because we've got a lovely holiday, we've got some new pills, we've got a nice new car coming off the production line. If you meditate in the car, you'll feel very peaceful. And you know, and so they'll do all of that, do you see? And they just, you know, there's a lovely saying, I think it was one of Christ's favorite, if not his favorite, they know not what they, you know that saying? Forgive them, for they know not what, I didn't know what I was doing. I know now, I see now. And so it's just the way the world is set up, the material world of marketing. Get this and you'll feel okay. Go there and you'll be fine. You know? And so that's what more and more of us are breaking. We're breaking the illusion of that now. Is that true? I think so. Everyone in their own way, at their own pace, their own speed. And some people, well, I'm not so sure, actually. I'm not so sure. I think, you know, I can't imagine life without my Volvo. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you don't have those things. I'm not saying you don't have the house, you don't have the friends, you don't go on holiday, you don't. I'm not saying don't do those things. You know, the heart of living a detached life doesn't mean you lose all of that. You don't care anymore. It just means you change your relationship with things. That's all it is. It's a shift in relationship. It's all just relationship. So now I don't depend on the car. I use the car, I get it for a while, and someone else has got it. And so now it's not my car. Yeah, it's just an object I get to use for a while. That's all. And I'm in it. I'm not going, oh, I better not like my car. Oh, I just like my car for a minute. That's not good. No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But if something does happen to the car, if somebody scratches the car, no problem. It's okay. Yeah, you know, you've got a new carpet. You got the new carpet at home. Oh, darling, the new carpet's just. I'm so happy with the new carpet. Isn't it nice? And the first guest comes in with a cup of coffee, and you see the coffee in slow motion. It's going down towards the carpet, and you go, look at my carpet. And in that moment, I am a carpet. Yeah, I am the carpet. If I'm upset with the stain on the carpet, I am the carpet in that moment. Do you see that? Yeah, but look, what's reality? Reality tells me coffee plus gravity plus carpet equals stain. That's what carpets are there for. They're there to catch drops of coffee. Yes, that's reality, isn't it? Now, why am I arguing with reality? Because that's what I'm doing. Oh my God, this is an argument with reality. This is crazy. Can you see it? Yeah, you laugh when you see it. And so when something happens to those things and I'm detached, doesn't bother me, move on. Doesn't bother me, move on. Don't lose your calm, your strength, your peace, move on. Because it's not what I am. Yeah. Or do it another way. Everything, cars, carpets, people, homes, houses, objects, they come and they... Hello? Go, thank you. Watch in your meditation. Thoughts come and... Feelings come and even your beliefs will come and everything comes and goes, but only one thing always remains. Guess? I. The I that says I am always remains. And that is the only reality. Everything else is unreal against the I that always remains. And within the I, life is what I am, is love, is peace, is the truth you seek. It's already there. And that always remains. That can never be taken away. Now, who showed us how to do this? They locked him up for 27 years. And he walked out the most loving, peaceful, forgiving, stable, wisest character on the planet. Who? Mandela. Mandela. He showed us how to do it. You know, we lose our car keys for 10 minutes, and it's the end of the world. Where are my car keys? They took his life for 27 years. Well, they didn't really. They locked him up, but they couldn't lock up his. They locked up his, but you couldn't lock up his consciousness. And in consciousness, love, peace, truth, can never take that away. That's reality. And everything else is coming and it's unreal. It's not real. Yes, it's there for use, but it's not. Do you see it? And when you see that, freedom. Amazing freedom inside. And the deepest attachment, mums and dads, is your children. But even then, it's not my child. Oops. Because as long as you think it's my child, this is my child, then when something happens to the child and they start crying, what will you do? You start crying. And what does the child need in that moment? It's suffering. What does it need? Love, in the form of support, care, maybe a very clear decision to go to the hospital very quickly. But if I'm crying, can I give that? No, I'm suffering too. Actually, I need just as much help as the... Yes, it's true. And that's attachment, because I'm under the illusion this human being is mine. No, it's not. It's a unique, individual human being on their own journey. And guess what? I have the honor, the privilege, what a privilege to be in their life, to guide, teach, coach, be a friend, be a companion, to help them out into the world. What an amazing privilege. But as soon as I say, my child, I don't play all those roles. I play one role, supreme controller. Yeah. And it's because of attachment. And that's why the love disappears. When you're attached, love cannot appear. Love appears in all these other creative ways. When do they need a friend? When do they need a guide? When do they need a coach? When do they need learning, teaching, allowing? I can't play all those roles. That's what love does. It creates all those roles. Feels what is required.